My name's Richard Gold. I founded a teen writing project that works with kids inside juvenile detention, inside the state psychiatric hospital here in Washington State, inside homeless shelters, prisons. I started out as English major poet doing writing with kids in a special school. It turned out that half the kids were patients at a psychiatric hospital, and I found out when the therapist got in touch with me and hired me, and I worked on staff at the hospital, teaching hospital psychoanalytically oriented, and I discovered that poetry was making a difference for kids, that they could talk about trauma in the context of poetry where it was safer sometimes than talking to people. Pongo itself I founded is 17 years old. I founded it after I had an interim career in computer book publishing. And after I retired from that, I founded Pongo. We have 10 volunteers a year. We've worked with 6,000 teens, 3,000 of them one-on-one. Again, we go inside the juvenile detention center and hospital to work with kids. Teams of 5 volunteers at each site. We've published books of the kids' work. This is teen poetry from juvenile detention, our latest book. We've published 13. We've given away 13,500 books to kids in juvenile detention and other places. They're in the libraries here in Seattle. The biggest message for me of the work that I've discovered over time doing this work is that the effects of trauma on people, that the young people who have been arrested, who are homeless, the consistent theme in their writing is childhood trauma, often abuse and neglect at home. A very complicated process with very complicated effects on the young people and anyone, where the overwhelming nature of incest, physical abuse, being neglected by parents who are drug addicted or alcoholic, is that kids have a kind of fragmentation inside, a kind of confusion. They live lives, a separated kind of life. Part of them may function very well, but part of them still holds the terror, the sense of personal despair and failure over not being loved enough. But one thing that poetry does, as I mentioned, it's a safer way to talk about what you've been through, and it's an opportunity to integrate feelings and experience. At the same time that the kids write about very sad things, they also feel proud, they identify as writers, they understand that they can write and that writing can be a way of dealing with emotions in the future. And a very common response from the teens is that they feel like a weight has been lifted when they write poetry. Right now I'm here at Folklife Festival, which is a free music arts festival in Seattle, Memorial Day weekend. I'm here and at another big Seattle festival called Bumbershoot over Labor Day weekend. And I have a table of the teen books and share their poetry, tell their story, sell some books. The money goes back into the project. I enjoy very much talking to people in the community and the support that I've received. It's a huge encouragement. When I did computer books, I actually worked at Microsoft for 10 years, and the Alumni Foundation was very kindly presented me with an award named me a Microsoft Integral Fellow, and Bill and Melinda Gates presented me with this medal for my work with Pongo. Again, I've been doing it for 17 years now. Started before I left Microsoft, and they're working very hard in the Microsoft Alumni Foundation to encourage philanthropy among Microsoft employees and former employees. That was a wonderful thing that happened in November 2010. Recently, King 5 News, the NBC affiliate here in Seattle, ran a wonderful news story about Pongo's work in juvenile detention. The people here at Folklife, as another example, have allowed me to be a sponsor here, to have a table, and they come by every year and appreciate that Pongo is a part of the festival. Again, it's a huge encouragement. It's a great joy. There's a joy of doing the work with the kids, but there's the joy of representing them in the community and trying to help people understand their lives and their resilience. So I'm reading a poem from our latest book called There Had to Have Been Someone. This is a poem by a young woman, age 16, juvenile detention. She'd never written before. The poem begins, she's writing to an abusive boyfriend, and then she talks about her aspirations for life. Again, I think if people step back from the sadness in the poem to think about the resilience as kids think about what they can be and what they want. Ice Cream Man. I just thought you should know that sometimes I'm afraid of you. I don't mind you repping the gangs, but sometimes when I look into your eyes, I see violence against me. I see violence against your grandma, and it hurts me inside. I just thought you should know I want to work in here someday, helping kids that went through what I went through, help them understand why I ran away from home, because my parents beat me, because the stress in my life made me do something stupid. I was the girl who stopped going to school. I was the girl who stopped listening to her parents, who started drinking and smoking. I just thought you should know that one side of me wants to be with you and one side of me does not. And the side that does not is confused, feels like a lost sheep. I just thought you should know I see myself with a happy family in a park, Oakland, California, eating barbecued lamb next to the swimming pool while dads play tennis and moms talk and serve food, and all the Tongan people speak to the ice cream man. I just thought you should know I'm tired of seeing what people do on the streets, and I'm tired of being a part of it. I just thought you should know I want to say hello again to the ice cream man. Thank you very much for watching. Pongo has a website, www.pongoteenwriting.org, with 50 writing activities that kids can complete online, that teachers and counselors can download and print out and use with kids. We're eager to not only have the kids writing, but to help others work with kids using poetry. It's been so effective for us. And we have a Facebook page and Twitter, and I hope you'll friend Pongo Teen Writing. Thank you.